Donate plasma.
Welcome in, everybody, to the Booty Scoot Racing channel, live here on the TikTok platform, then posted on over to the YouTube page. We're live here for part 2 of the I-85 Asphalt Series, but this time we're here for the late model division, race number 3 of 10 for the Southern Nationals Motorsports Park here at the 0.42 mile racetrack in Lucama, North Carolina. We got tons of late models here tonight ready to pack out the field with some action-packed racing. We'll get you down on the racetrack here and see how things are getting ready to shake out here with the race info for the I-85 Asphalt Series Season 3, race number 3. The Haunted 120 spooky season here in North Carolina as these guys continue to round out the qualifying session. We'll see how things shake out for most of these drivers, and how they will walk themselves into the field here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Looks like we're getting ready to, well, I'm not sure how much longer we have here to the admin. We're up here with Peter the Pace, Billy the Blimp driver, riding really, really high right now. We got a couple more drivers out on the racetrack, dialing in these race cars, and looks like from the admin I'm getting that is it for the qualifying. So we'll pull up the qualifying results here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel and listen closely, or you'll get lost here as we shuffle through. We'll pull up to the top spot. Colton Brooks looks like he's going to be on the pole tonight, driving the number 13 late model. So we'll see how things shake out tonight for Colton Brooks. Ladies and gentlemen, anybody on your screen below the 12th place spot in qualifying has been thrown into tonight's heat race. So anybody behind Doug Miller, that's Michael Johnson on back, has just now found himself in the last chance qualifier. Everybody will advance out of the qualifying race. Well, no, excuse me. The top 8 drivers will qualify into the feature and join the rest of the field. We will start 20 cars here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the Haunted 120. We're moments away from the green flag here in heat race number 1. We got your driver introductions right here. Chase Johnson's got a spooky car. He's got Michael Myers on the front of their race car. So by no coincidence here, these two guys just happen to qualify right beside each other here for the heat race. Starting on the inside, driving the number 40 Bass Pro Shops Tracker Boats late model, that's Michael Johnson. And on the outside of him will be the number 5 HendrickCars.com STI Chase Johnson Racing late model. No relation with the Johnsons here, but this is going to be Chase Johnson. Starting in the 3rd place spot here tonight, driving the Progressive Insurance number 88 late model in heat race number 1, that's Brayson Kendrick. On the outside of him will be the number 23 Road Nicotine Pouch Gorilla Mind late model from Greer, South Carolina, your mom's favorite driver. That's the Boogeyman, John Michael Bryant. And on the inside of him will be the America's Best 2 pairs eye exam, $89.95, excuse me. Make sure you get them code Doyle to get your 50% off discount. That's the Boardwick 00 Mike Doyle. Starting behind him, driving the 08 late model, that's the bootlegger machine of Gavin King. On the inside of him will be the 29 Boardwick late model of Phil Bogdan. On the outside of him will be the Bowman Gray Stadium veteran, Braden Staley. Poncho McDowell on the Good Wrench Service number 47 late model, back in action here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, looking to make his way to the front here in heat race number 1. And starting in the number 99 late model from New Bern, that's Dakota Pignataro. Tony Cook driving the 33 Skull Bandit late model will start out the back half of the field, and Nicholas Maynard was supposed to be at the back half of the heat race here, but he will not make it out onto the racetrack here. So it looks like Nicholas Maynard's going to have to park it and work it here. Lights are off on top of the pace car. Peter will roll some coal here, flip you the middle finger. We're getting ready to go racing here in heat race number 1. See if Peter the pace car hangs that left on the pit road. No, he'll stay out here. He must have heard me talking shit up here in the booth. That's what Peter tends to do here, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just tuning in here for the first time on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, you are in for a treat. The sun continues to battle down here. We will be underneath the lights for the main feature here are going to be the keys of the race here tonight. Save those Hoosier tires. Find a rhythm. Use that bumper if necessary. and save a little bit of tire, ladies and gentlemen. Peter the base car is going to hang the left on the pit road this time. We're getting ready to take the green flag here in the Haunted 120 for the heat race here tonight. 8 drivers will advance to the feature here. We'll start 20 cars here as these guys rev it up down the back straightaway here. Down into turns 3, heading into turn 4. Michael Johnson alongside door-to-door with Chase Johnson. They'll head back across the line and finish lap number 1 here underneath the green flag conditions. That's the America's Best 00 late model of Mike Doyle, trying to work over to the back bumper of the 88, of Racing Kendrick. Braden Staley in this purple and yellow number 9 late model. That's what started. He did not want Braden Staley. Won the race 2 weeks ago at the Myrtle Beach Speedway. His first win here in the I-85 Asphalt Series, the late model division. Slapped the outside wall there and had to fall back in the rhythm. We'll get the spot over Mike Doyle, though. We're picking and rolling here at the Southern National Speedway in North Carolina for the Haunted 120. And things are down to get spooky here tonight. Tons of guys with some Halloween schemes on their race cars. Mike Doyle right now under attack. Dakota Pignataro, John Michael Bryant, and Phil Bogdan seemed to settle everything out. Tony Cook, Poncho McDowell back out on the racetrack. Poncho McDowell off of the Booty Suit Racing channel for a little bit of time here, battling some health issues. Back and healthy out here, racing better than ever. 11 laps to go here in heat race number 1. Everybody behind Dakota Pignataro right now would go home if they do not get the spots that they are need. So the Boogeyman in trouble here, jeopardy of losing his spot in the feature. You got to be in the top 8 if you want a chance to go to the feature here tonight. More than 20 cars showed up, so we're sending guys home. 20 cars will start the feature here tonight for the Haunted 120. Chase Johnson's got some company right behind him. That's Brayson Kendrick. He'll go around passenger side hard into the inside wall, and the caution flag will fly. Caution flag flies here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, reminding you the caution flag laps do not count here in tonight's heat race. We'll throw up the instant replay and take a look and see what the hell just happened to the progressive late model of Brayson Kendrick. He's going to have to file a claim quick and early here off the exit of turn 2. Not sure what happened here, battling door-to-door with Chase Johnson, Braden Staley right behind him. Looks like he maybe just clipped the apron, got a little bit loose there. Comes down, bam, hard into the passenger side door, but that looks like that late model still up and rolling. Will get it turned around here and catch the tail end of the field. Ladies and gentlemen, Brayson Kendrick, not looking forward to that one right there. Everybody's starting to circle back around and catch the pace car. Looks like Brayson Kendrick's going to be the guy we have. Bring out the caution. Michael Johnson still in control here as the caution flag flies in heat race number 1 as cleanup continues off the exit of turn 2 for the number 88 late model. We'll keep it right here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Bring you right back down here on the main broadcast here. Not want to soak it up underneath the commercial breaks. Not new fans tuning in here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the Booty Scoot Racing channel's Haunted 120 live here in North Carolina. We know we repeat ourselves quite often. It's just because the action that we get around here is too damn exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you, if you weren't here yesterday, head on over to the YouTube page located in the top right portion of your screen. Check out the Wheeling Modified race that we had here last night at the Southern National Raceway. Tons of guys showed up to show out, and we had a great race that's already posted to the YouTube, ready to go. Season 3 here for the late model division, race number 3, and it is a beautiful day to go racing. The sun is out. We'll be racing underneath the lights here tonight. The lights are still on top of the base car, as this is a beautiful number 29 Boardwick late model from Phil Bogdan. We're cleaning up the racetrack here after a turnaround of the number 88 of Brayson Kendrick. And ladies and gentlemen, you don't follow alone, you'll get lost quite quickly here. Here are the rules on the I-85 Asphalt Series. You cause the wreck and or involved in the wreck, you will find yourself at the tail end of the line. So you see Brayson Kendrick, just because he might have suffered a little bit of damage, went down on the pit road, he would have been at the tail end anyway. He would have got a EOL, that is a end of the line penalty from the admin. Get ready to go back racing here at the Haunted 120, and it's all in the hands of Michael Johnson. He'll step down on the gas as they head down into turn 1. Off the exit of turn 2, down the back straightaway, Johnson will jump over Staley and the other Johnson kid. Braden Staley working his way up through the field right now. 8 laps remain here in heat race number 1. It'll be the only one we have here tonight, so we might as well. It's called the last chance qualifier. Who's going to do what, when, where, and why? The top 8 will advance. Tony Cook goes around with Brayson Kendrick. Hard in the outside and the inside wall goes Brayson Kendrick. Ass in first into the air. Face down, ass up for Tony Cook. We'll back that ass up and take a look and see what happened. Tricky turn 2 here. Maybe that should have been one of the keys of the race here tonight. Is we've already had 2 incidents here in the heat race. The last chance qualifier to kick the night off here at the Southern National Raceway. Not sure what the hell just took place here between Brayson Kendrick and Tony Cook. Looks like Brayson Kendrick just rolls the bottom a little bit too much. You see the sparks coming out the back end of Tony Cook. Just gets a huge shot there from Brayson Kendrick. So Brayson Kendrick already involved in 2 accidents. This one will be of his own doing. We'll back that ass up one more time. Look out the tail end of Tony Cook's late model. Take a look and see what happened. As they dive down into turns 1 and 2, the bootlegger late model just puts the bumper to the back of Tony Cook, spins him right on around, and here goes, bam! A hard-charging Pancho McDowell lifts up Tony Cook in the air. And Brayson Kendrick tries to spin around his late model. Tony Cook's not going to be happy with the way that he was just raced right there. He'll run down the number 88 late model of Brayson Kendrick, and we'll see how things shake out. Michael Johnson's going to be the race leader. We'll take our first commercial break here tonight. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back here to the Haunted 120 live at the Southern National Raceway. We're underneath the caution flag for the second time here in the last chance qualifier, live at the Southern National Raceway in North Carolina. And it is a damn hot day here in North Carolina. But the bitches have their titties out. Saw a lot of asses out in the fan zone. Couldn't get enough of it. Now it's time to go racing underneath the sun. John Michael Bryant trying to charge his way up through the field. Ladies and gentlemen, 8 drivers will advance out of the last chance qualifier with a chance to go to the feature tonight with over 20 cars coming and trying to join into the I-85 Asphalt Series late model division. You're going to have to earn your way in here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Johnson will be the race leader with Braden Staley hard on the outside. That's the Bowman Gray veteran. Working their way off the exit of turn 4. Green flags back in the air for the Haunted 120. Braden Staley will have 6 laps to try to get rid of Michael Johnson in this number 40 late model. Showtime Chase Johnson rides back here in the 3rd place spot. And right now the cutoff spot will be Tony Cook. So Pancho McDowell, the only one out on the racetrack right now, in trouble of going home. 5 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We have heard from the admin that one of these drivers, Gavin King, has been removed off of the racetrack, as well as Brayson Kendrick. So ladies and gentlemen, they will be removed from tonight's I-85 Asphalt Series competition. Live here for the Haunted 120. Here comes Dakota Pignataro in this number 99 boardweight late model. Really starting to make a little bit of ground on his teammate Mike Doyle down here in the turns 3 and 4. But it's going to be Michael Johnson seeing 3 laps to go this time around in the last chance qualifying race. Braden Staley, Chase Johnson round out the top 3 with Mike Doyle coming around in the 4th place spot. Contacts made back here to Phil Bogdan hard down on the inside wall. Michael Johnson and him come across the line. Not sure if the caution flag is going to fly or not. And yes, it will. Caution flag does fly here for Phil Bogdan, and he's backwards here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll back that ass up as we've always done. Take you a good look at this one and grab you a handful. As Phil Bogdan looked like he may have took a hard lick to the outside safer barrier. We'll back it up for the Boardwick number 29 late model. Him and Pancho McDowell in sequence there, turning around the back straightaway. We'll back it up here. See if we can't get a better angle from the exit of turn 2. Looks like Tony Cook may have had a little bit of loving and shoving there into turns 1. Tony Cook just showing his nose here to the number 29. Phil Bogdan trying to keep off of him. Tony Cook slides up the racetrack right there, gets it to the back of the number 29. And Pancho McDowell, again, the Rain Man, has nowhere to go from Greenville, South Carolina. If he didn't have bad luck, he'd have none. Pancho McDowell involved in another one out of his own doing. Phil Bogdan trying to get this late model turned around. He'll stay on the lead lap as well as he'll beat Michael Johnson as he'll get this thing up and going. Michael Johnson will be the race leader when we return with 3 laps to go. It's anybody's ball game. Braden Staley rounds out the 2nd place spot, followed by Chase Johnson. And I take it back with you, folks. We'll keep it right here for a no commercial free ending to the heat race for the last chance qualifier. You might want to check out, see what your favorite driver is doing, what they are capable of locking themselves into tonight, as these guys got to slow down for Peter the pace car. He's lollygagging around the Southern National Raceway. Michael Johnson's going to be the race leader. Braden Staley, Chase Johnson, they'll round out the first 2 rows. Mike Doyle will follow in the 4th place spot. giving it to Dakota Pignatar, moving up in the 8th place spot. So right now, Poncho McDowell currently runs in the 8th place spot. Phil Bogdan in that, in that cutoff spot currently right now when we get ready to take the green flag and go back racing. So Phil Bogdan did not need that wreck right there. He's in a chance here with only, 2 laps to go when we take the green flag to lock himself into the feature here tonight from the Southern National Raceway. Meanwhile, Michael Johnson's just put on an absolute clinic so far in the LCQ. That tracker boat has been tracking its way around perfectly through the exit of turns 1 and 2, but about a little bit of a tight condition through 3 and 4. But he's got a hard-charging Bowman Gray Stadium, and if you know how Bowman Gray gets down, he gets rowdy and wicked. Braden Staley, the superstar Staley, will get it done here if he has the opportunity. We'll add another lap here underneath the caution flag. Actually, we'll keep it single file here for the ending of the heat race. So Braden Staley and the rest of these boys are going to have to work here now, since we're going to have a single file restart to try to get to the ending. Michael Johnson's got it in his hands whenever he wants it. Green flag's back in the air for the Haunted 120 live here on the Video Scooter Racing channel from the Southern National Raceway. 2 laps to go here on the big white flag in the air for the number 40 Tracker Bows. Tracker Bass Pro Shop will get a tag from Braden Staley. Braden Staley will ship him up the racetrack. What a save by Michael Johnson. But Braden Staley put the bumper to him down off the exit of turn 4. Mike Doyle will go around off the exit of turn 2. And here comes Braden Staley off the exit of turn 4, and he'll win tonight's LCQ. Live here at the Southern National Raceway on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Braden Staley puts the bumper to the back of Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson's not going to forget that one. Michael Johnson will sit in the 8th place spot. Mike Doyle will round out the 9th place cutoff spot, but looking and listening to the admin here, we'll see how it goes. He might hit the chance here on the fan vote. Mike Doyle already won the provision here. I think they should give him the provision. I think the fans would like if Mike Doyle got the provision after winning the heat race 2 weeks ago. So ladies and gentlemen, we'll switch it over here to Underneath the Lights for season 3, race number 3. You think things are just getting wicked? Try 120 laps underneath the lights here at the Southern National Raceway. It's what we're getting ready to tack on here. And we're underneath the lights because it's Halloween time. Spooky, spooky, spooky. This is the Haunted 120. Some of these guys showing off their best Halloween paint schemes. I want to remind you to be safe if you're taking your children out trick-or-treating this weekend. Bunch of crazy fucks these days, ladies and gentlemen. If you have tuned in here tonight, you have found the place. Make sure you head on over to the YouTube page, located right there in the top right portion of your screen. We'll bring up the remaining schedule here for the I-85 Asphalt Series. We are inside the tech shed here at the Southern National Raceway trying to get a better hearing, you know what I'm saying? I don't want you to be overturned. But 110 laps 2 weeks from now at the Wilkesboro Speedway. Brand new asphalt pavement has been poured and put into the iRacing platform. And these guys are way excited to get down there, just right down the road here from Southern National Raceway. So that will stick around here in the great state of North Carolina. Got about 50 seconds remaining here in the warm-up session as these guys get about a minute and a half to dial in these late models for the features, especially if you didn't know if you was in that LCQ race and didn't know if even we're going to have a chance to race in the feature tonight. Guys that were on the pole, like Colton Brooks and them boys, they were really flying around in the practice session, but hopefully he got you a great angle of tonight's the final race schedule. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. We'll pull up the keys of the race one final time here. We'll see if we can't blow it up for you a little bit bigger so you can kind of get a better look at what these drivers are going to battle here tonight in the I-85 Asphalt Series late model division. 0 sets of tires for 120 laps with 0 fast repairs. So if you tear the race car up, you got to go fix it. You got to save the Hoosier rubber. Manage those Hoosiers. Find the rhythm. Use that bumper, and finally manage the traffic. This 0.42 mile length oval is going to be quick to suffocate and bring drivers into something that they may not want to. This guy is absolutely leaning. He's had one too many Bud Lights. Somebody needs to sit him down there on that picnic table as Freddie the Flagman's up there doing his job. We do not need him to jump in the flag booth. Ladies and gentlemen, you're getting ready to watch the greatest show on earth, on YouTube, on TikTok, the Booty Scoot Racing channel, live here for the I-85 Asphalt Series late model division at the Southern National Raceway. Part 2 of a doubleheader here for the I-85 Asphalt Series with the Wheeling Modified coming here last night. Was a great race. Can go on to the YouTube page. Don't want to keep promoting it. Braden Staley, our heat winner, will have to round out the 13th place spot as the top 12 drivers locked themselves in on time. Here was how the qualifying session turned out everybody below the 13th place spot. And below was in that final heat race. We'll scoot it up here where you can see Colton Brooks was our pole sitter. Now I mentioned his name. We'll get off with the driver introductions on the pole tonight from Moxville, North Carolina. This is the new River Welding and Rigging late model, the 13 of Colton Brooks. Driving the 01 Stacking Pennies podcast late model, that's the 14-year-old of Everett Larson. Starting in the 3rd place spot here tonight, driving the I-Racing Daniel S. Farm 92 late model, that's Lane Woods. Starting on the outside of him, driving the BBS late model, the number 54 from Mobile, Alabama, Colton Waters. Starting behind him, driving the number 8 HendrickCars.com late model, that's the number 8 of Corey Tessner. On the inside of him will be the number 03 ACR Racing Daniels 500 Farm late model of Grayson Underwood. Driving the number 66 Boardwalk Race Engines late model from Union Beach, New Jersey, that's Neil Lorette III. And on the outside of him, driving the number 24 late model from Greenville, South Carolina, that's James Fountain. James Fountain battling a little bit of internet connection issues. Driving the number 43 late model here tonight, that's Landon Brindle. Got to keep rolling through here. Danny Willis out here on the field, as well as Greg Orton in the number 96. Doug Miller driving the number 39 late model here tonight with Braden Staley, the heat race winner. And the number 9, Chase Johnson will drive the number 5 here, 2-time champion here in the I-85 Asphalt Series. Dakota Pignatar in the number 99, followed by John Michael Bryant, the Boogeyman, your mom's favorite driver, in the number 23. Sonny Cook will grab the 33 car here tonight, shake out the 18th place spot with Michael Johnson in the Tracker Bass Pro Shops number 40. He was not happy with the way that he was raced in the heat race. They have a little bit of redemption to do here. Pancho McDowell driving the number 47 will round out the back half of the field with a 00 of Mike Doyle. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest show on earth right here in North Carolina on your YouTube page, getting the green flag this time around. There is not a fan here at this racetrack sitting on their ass, and if they are, they're an idiot. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter the Pace Car give it a little bit more gas to get away from these late models so they can get a jump. It'll be on the green flag to start tonight's Haunted 120 whenever Peter the Pace Car pulls off of the racetrack. All in the hands of Colton Brooks. Green flag is in the air here for the Haunted 120 live at the Southern National Raceway. Off the exit of turn 2, Colton Brooks will go down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Several guys hitting the chip here through the back straightaway into 3 and 4. All these late models together. You better brought your earplugs here tonight or you're going to be dead. Mike Doyle slapped the outside wall there. Not sure what was going on with him. Ladies and gentlemen, the veteran renovations number 9 late model of Braden Staley trying to work the inside of the number 39 here of Doug Miller the third, but just can't quite get there as these guys are all over the chip on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, up and out of the corners. Just can't find a great way for these guys to shake out as the number 99 of Dakota Pignatar will chop the nose down there to Braden Staley. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Haunted 120 live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the late model division. Several guys trying their hardest to work their way through the field. These things sound like fucking Gen 4 cars. They're so damn loud. You better have your kids some earplugs here tonight or you will be making that trip to the ear doctor very, very soon. We're going to try to find a decent camera view that we can keep with and you can understand and hear what I'm saying at all times. If I could get a thumbs up in the chat if you can still hear me, that would gladly help me out a lot with these screaming race cars with these X-pipes going back and forth down the back straightaway. Here comes Greg Wharton on the outside of the number 24 of James Fountain. The Vomus Fox, number 96, looking for a spot here down into turns 1 and 2. Now he's got the 100 on the inside of him. That's Danny Willis. Danny Willis will pull on the inside here. Danny Willis trying his hardest here. He had a great race 2 weeks ago at the Myrtle Beach Speedway. He's trying to redeem himself here tonight at Southern National Raceway in North Carolina. Big contact to Greg Wharton. He'll go around off the exit of the corner. Caution flag will fly. Big pile up back here. We got several guys involved. Chase Johnson's turning around backwards here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Holy cow, folks. Not sure what the hell was going on there. We'll back that ass up and take a look and see what the hell just happened. Chase Johnson is backwards head on to the inside wall. That's the 2-time champion here in the I-85 Asphalt Series late model division. We'll back it up and take a look and see what happens. We've seen Greg Wharton get down there on the bottom side. Braden Staley probably had the best view out the front windshield of his number 9 late model. We'll back it up, take a look. It's like Dakota Pinatar just gets to the back end of Greg Orton there. Greg Orton goes around, and it's just mayhem back here for guys like Chase Johnson. And the rest of these boys are just trying to get on the brake and miss the contact. We'll back it up one more time. Looks like Michael Johnson and Chase Johnson, the two Johnson boys, will suffer the most damage here. We'll throw it up to the blimp cam and see if we can't take a see what happens. Just a check up there. The 39 turns around the number 5. Phil Bogdan hits Chase Johnson. So does Michael Johnson. So Chase Johnson just getting beaten and battered here at the Southern National Raceway. Meanwhile, Everett Larson, the 14-year-old, is taking over the race lead here with our first caution flag here tonight. Chase Johnson will beat the pace car around here, so he will stay on the lead lap. Everett Larson's going to be the race leader when we return here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Don't go nowhere. Big bang cleanup works here off the exit of turn 2. The track workers are trying to get their shit together back into the infield off the racetrack so we can get the green flag back in the air for you folks here for the Haunted 120 for Season 3, race number 3 of the Booty Scoot Racing Channel's I-85 Asphalt Series late model stock division. 3 seasons of this shit right here has been absolute chaos. There's been so many good races and so many bad ones. I couldn't really pick out which ones were what. But ladies and gentlemen, hopefully we can try to situate all that here tonight. Will we get the double file this time to go racing? Don't look like we will. Yes, we will. Looks like Colton Brooks will go to the back of the pack. Well, that's Chase Johnson. He'll fall to the tail end of the field, so it looks like we might delay it. We'll delay it for one more lap on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Lane Woods will be on the outside of Everett Larson. That'll be your front row. Everett Larson driving the 0-1 Stacking Pennies podcast late model. Neil Rutt the third, the real deal. Shaking and baking his way up through the field. He's in the 3rd place spot. Corey Tesner has had a decent car here so far right now. He's up 2 spots from where he's at, but Corey Tesner was really able to turn the center quite well. But Corey Tesner definitely knows how to put the door bumper to somebody if so necessary. The 0-1 Stacking Pennies podcast steps back on the gas, and we're back green here in the Haunted 120 live at the Southern National Raceway. Dakota Pignataro gets moved up out of the groove by the number 9 of Braden Staley. Braden Staley will show his nose to the 100 of wannabe Danny Willis. Danny Willis not going to have none of it, though. He'll pull a little bit away. He's looking on the inside of the number 24 of James Fountain. Things are locked and loaded, ready to go here tonight at the Southern National Raceway. It's Dakota Pignataro tries to track down the guys in front of him. Guys like Corey Tesmer, Colton Waters have had fast late models here so far. Colton Waters almost has the fastest lap right there. He's about 3,000ths of a second off. You have to get the fastest lap to the guy that ran the 14.28. That's the 3rd place driver, that black late model, Neil Rutt the third. He'll go back around that time. Looks like Neil Rutt the third is going to be again the fastest race car on the track that last time around. So 2 laps in a row for the 66 Boardwalk engines. Late model gets a little bit loose though this time. And Everett Larson will slam the door shut on the 92 of Lane Woods. This is the battle for the race lead, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, your favorite driver beating and banging here tonight at the Southern National Raceway. Just trying to get it locked and loaded. Give you your best angles here. Trying to keep that raggedy-ass sound out of your ear. As I know some of these guys sound like they got some of their Cadillac converters stolen off of their race cars. Underneath the nighttime, we had these guys parked after tech. Ladies and gentlemen, the number 92 battling a little bit of internet connection issues right now, and he's starting to drop back slowly. That's the number 92 of Lane Woods. He blinks in and blinks back out. That'll give Neil Rutt the lead over Everett Larson, and here comes Corey Tesner to the bottom side. Where Corey Tesner go, Everett Larson doesn't have a chance to plug the bottom because here comes Colton Waters. Colton Waters plugging the water up. You know what I mean? No pun intended. Danny Willis down on the bottom side. Who has to fight back here underneath the 0-1 of Everett Larson is Braden Staley. Tries to make his way up off the bottom side of the racetrack here. Will Braden Staley get aggressive here in 1 and 2? No, kind of stay away from the number 0-1 and drive right around him off the exit of turn 2. But here comes James Fountain right back down on the bottom side of the racetrack, trying to make things shake. He cut off the nose of Everett Larson, and he'll do that. And a lot of guys slamming to the outside wall off the exit of turn 4. Turn 4, turn 2, which one is it going to be, folks? They've all been tricky here tonight. We've seen 2 caution flags so far up to this point. For the feature, had 2 in the heat race, the last chance qualifier. That's seen the number 9 of Braden Staley, that yellow and purple late model that just went across your screen, take home the trophy and lock himself into tonight's event. I heard from the admin, Poncho McDowell did advance here to the feature from the, Phil Bogdan did advance to the feature. No, it was Mike Doyle that was on the cut, excuse me. There he is out on the racetrack in the 00. He did get the fan favorite provisional as he's won 2 heat races so far here on the late model division. And he is also the NASCAR Cash winner from last season, Mike Doyle. Relying on provision to get him into the race here tonight. He's going to have to try his best, put his America's best first, put on those glasses, and crawl his way to the front of the pack. Braden Staley is going to try Danny Willis for the 3rd place spot here, and they'll battle door to door down into 3 and 4. Braden Staley's got great grip through 1 and 2. How is he managed to hold on to 3 and 4? Down here goes Braden Staley. Will roll a little bit better. Maybe some contact made between the number 9 and the number 100 of Danny Willis. These 2 folks just can't seem to get separated. This is the baddest thing we got on the racetrack right now. We'll see them all come off the exit of turns 3 and 4. Nobody putting on a show like Braden Staley and Danny Willis. Here comes James Fountain. Hey, Lane Woods has entered the tracks with no pun intended. Corey Tessner has lost some ground here. He slapped the outside wall. You see the damage. The right front quarter panel is starting to rub some smoke on that right front tire. How long will that event? When will that begin to affect the number 8 of Corey Tessner? Caution flag is out. Caution flag is out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. I'm not sure. It looks like probably going to be for Tony Cook here in the number 33. Skull Bandit late model. We'll back that ass up and take a look and see what the hell just happened, as Tony Cook is slow back here on the back straightaway. Tony Cook already involved in 1 accident here tonight, and it can't seem to get away from the trouble. The number 33 will back it up here and ride on board with the number 33 of Tony Cook. Take a look. Oh, sounds like he blew a motor. Tony Cook. No, not a motor. Something, maybe a downshift. He was really revving high RPMs there off the exit of turns 3 and 4. Couldn't lock it down fast enough. We'll back that ass up here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Take a look at Tony Cook off the exit of turns 1 and 2. Tricky turn 2. Grabs another one here. Looks like Tony Cook made a grab the inside curve there, and that's what maybe turned him around. So the X-Pipes on these late models, we apologize for the sound, folks. We'll be back in just a moment. Tony Cook goes around for the caution flag here. We don't need to back that ass up and throw up the replay. It was right there in front of our face. Neil Rutt III will be the race leader, and he'll catch up to behind the Peter the Base Car Machine right now as everybody else rounds out behind him. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel underneath the caution flag for the 3rd time here tonight in the feature. Scheduled for 120 laps posted. Got 2 in the bank for the overtime if we need them. 33 have been completed up to this point so far. And our hard charging right now guy is the number 9 heat last chance qualifier. Braden Superstar Staley putting on a show here as he's rolling up through the field. He's up 10 spots from where he started. The second highest hard charger through the field right now are guys like Michael Johnson and Mike Doyle, up 9 spots from the previous restart that we had underneath the caution flag. So they got a bad, fast late model. Just got to keep the damage off of them, folks. These late models, they're not cheap. They cost a shit ton of money. And if these guys want to continue to beat and bang and tear at race cars, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of folks out here that'll race them the way that they want to be raced. But See how things shake out here. We got a lot of laps left here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel and a long way to go. Make sure you go check out State Farm Chuck Finkley, 252-237-9018, or visit www.snmpark.com. Get ready to take the green flag this time around. It'll be all in the hands of the real deal. Neil Rudd, he's getting ready to try to work Colton Waters here through the restart zone. It'll be in the hands of the 66 late model whenever he wants it. He'll fire up above the gas and roll back green here in the haunted 120. Live here as they fly down into turns 1 and 2. Everett Larson trying to work his way back up there. Snipped the race sleeve for just a few couple laps. As Neil Rudd, the third, holds on to the race sleeve for the come off the exit of turns 3 and 4. We're back racing here in the haunted 120. Down the back straightaway, Dakota Pignatar with the number 39 of Doug Miller, the third battle door to door. Doug Miller tries to get the quarter panel in there to the number 99, just can't quite get the position that he was looking for going into the entrance of turns 1 and 2. Get a little bit loose there, and here comes the boogeyman charging up on the outside. And the number 23 late model. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back racing here at the Southern National Raceway, reminding you to check us on out on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, offering several different leagues with several different opportunities for you folks that participate on the iRacing service. We got Xfinity, we got Next Gens, we got trucks, we got late models, modifieds, dirt, you name it. You can go find it right there on the top right. Portion up your screen, caution flag flies here on the back half of the field. Big pile up, Tony Cook involved in another one. Corey Tessner moving up through the field earlier, involved in another one. The Riptide's going to have to back that ass up here with the instant replay. That's the haunted 120. The Ghost keeps striking these guys out of the exit of turn 2. We'll back that ass up here and take a look and see what the hell just happened here. Not sure what the hell just took place here. Maybe Tony Cook got into the back of Poncho McDowell. Not sure where it all started at. Poncho McDowell gets a little, Tony Cook gets a little bit hard into the the entrance of turn 1 and 2, gets right into the back of Poncho McDowell. Poncho McDowell probably not expecting that one. Have to ride on board with Tony Cook and take a look and see what happened. Maybe Tony Cook battling some kind of, hopefully, issue, I'm going to imagine, or he just absolutely plowed over the number 47 of Poncho. Now he's absolutely maxed out and tries to get it light down, runs right into the back of Poncho McDowell. Nowhere for Corey Tessner to go. Some great driving awareness there for Chase Johnson, the Season 2 champion. Corey Tessner gets around. He gets a little bit smacked in. Tony Cook will take it down on the pit road, try to climb out of that race car. Looks like his night will be done here at the Southern National Raceway. And the haunted 120, he'll go put on his costume, head back out there in the fan zone. And I'd imagine Tony Cook would whip up some candy for the fans out there if they would need them. Neil Rudd will be our race leader when we return here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel underneath the caution flag here for the 4th time tonight in the feature. Trying to get things up and going here, and just got a text message to my phone from the driver, Tony Cook. So he must have hopped right out of that race car and called up here to the booth. He wanted to say that the brakes went out in that Skull Bandit number 33 late model. Instead, he put the pedal down and went straight to the floor. And Tony Cook will take a hard shot right there to that inside safer barrier. He says they got him wanting to go check for a concussion protocol. So Tony Cook's going to be out of tonight's haunted 120 after a mechanical failure inside of the braking system somewhere. Right now, the topic of discussion going backwards is this number 01 of Everett Larson, the 14-year-old full-time in the Madness Racing League you can find here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Racing all the NASCAR series. Everett Larson, damn good on the ovals, as he is sponsored by Corey LaJoy Seating. Corey LaJoy, a great friend of Everett Larson. Everett Larson spent an entire day with Travis Pastrana about 2 months ago. No joke. Everett Larson has been to Pastrana Land with Travis Pastrana. Back racing here on the I-85 Asphalt Series late model division. Live from the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, Southern National Raceway. The ACR 92 tries the outside of John Michael Bryant. Big pile up off the exit of turn 2. They'll strike it again. Damn it, boys. They just can't seem to get it together off the exit of turn 2, and Mike Doyle is absolutely torched off of 2. We'll back that ass up here for the instant replay, and we're just going to have to try to wind this one out again. Holy shit, about 8 cars involved in this pile up through turns 1 and 2. Looks like Greg Wharton got into the back of Mike Doyle. We'll back that ass up and right on board with Greg Wharton right out the front nose of the Vamos Fox, number 96. It's all over the back of Mike Doyle. There's not much that he could do. Mike Doyle trying to chop down the nose and cut him off. We'll back that ass up and right with Mike Doyle. Get on board. We'll right out the ass end of Mike Doyle. He might not like it, but we'll give it to him anyway. Middletown, New Jersey, stand up. Go grab your boxing gloves. Your drivers just went around, but you can't see the transition right there. Greg Wharton is looking down on the inside, and Mike Doyle just tries to chop his nose there. And the Vamos Fox, number 96, is just going to have none of it here. And then everybody piles in. Oh, Corey Tesner gets the front end. Corey Tesner didn't see the wreck there. He might need to go visit the Double Zeros, America's best sponsor, and get him a pair of glasses. We'll be back in just a moment here. Neil Rutt III just cruising and a bruising here at the Southern National Raceway. That's the Wall Stadium driver from Union Beach, New Jersey. The real deal with his glowing skull in the front of his race car. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go nowhere. Back here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, track workers continue to clean up the exit of turn 2, where we have seen 3 of these 4 caution flags take place here tonight for the Haunted 120. So, spooky season. I'm really beginning to think that there is a ghost living off the exit of turn 2, and it loves race cars or late models, whichever two it can have it however it likes. These guys looks like they'll take another lap around here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. No, we'll double file it this time, so we're getting ready to go racing once more for the Haunted 120, whatever you want to call it. Ooh, spooky, spooky, spooky. Spent some spooky racing, 50 laps complete, and about 34 of them have been underneath the caution flag. Hopefully these guys can get nipped in the butt by something and create something. I'm not sure. Mummify these guys and wrap them up tight. Let's get them going. 51 laps complete on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. The green flag flies back here in North Carolina. Working their way through 1 and 2. Is everybody going to make it through 2 this time? Yes, they will. As the ghost says that I have to wipe my mouth, finish my other food first. It's already collected 3 late models here tonight as Everett Larson tries to work back around the number 96 here. The number 92 of Danny Willis. Of Lane Woods. Lane Woods trying to get around his teammate, the ACR late model of Danny Willis. So these guys battling it out here as teammates. Again, folks, we apologize here. Several of these drivers had their Cadillac converters cut off in the garage area. And that's why you hear some of the popping, squealing, yielding sound out of the X-pipes that these guys have on there. Several of these guys like Braden Staley, his father, a known modified driver at the Bowman Gray Stadium right here in North Carolina, right down the road in Winston-Salem. The superstar Braden Staley up 11 spots from where he started, and he might be the one running with no Cadillac converter, as he is absolutely screaming down the back straightaway here. Not sure what's going on with the number 9 of Braden Staley. He better hope he can pass Tech with all that screaming. The number 54 BBS late model has the number 100 of Danny Willis behind him, finally trying to hold him off. And here comes the number 40, Greg Wharton. Gets a little bit loose. The 96 gets shipped up the racetrack right there. It's Dakota Pignatar and Michael Johnson battle it out here down the back straightaway as the rest of the folks head across the front stretch. Off the exit of turn 2, across the front stretch. Will we get 3 wide? No, not quite. Everybody's starting to really fan out right here and get single file. It's what we really need. They got to pick a line and stay with it. No need to try to burn up all these Hoosier rubber, is Goodyear would absolutely, well, Hoosier would absolutely be ashamed if I called out Goodyear and gave them any kind of promotion here on the broadcast in a late model race. Ladies and gentlemen, 59 laps are complete. We're 1 lap away from the halfway point, and Neil Rudd is in total domination control right here, pulling away from Braden Staley off the exit of turn 2. Braden Staley, though, really able to roll well through 3 and 4. Braden Staley riding on board with the superstar as he turns it down into turns 1 and 2. He doesn't have to turn the wheel quite much to get the input that he's looking for, so a great setup here for Braden Staley. Braden Staley's crew chief here tonight, Zach Staley, his father, up on the box, calling the shots for the number 9 machine. And if you've never seen that famous video of Zach Staley at the Bowman Gray Stadium, I highly suggest go giving it a watch. Jumping through the windshield, ripping the hood off of another person's race car. These Staleys get absolutely batshit crazy, but nobody does it like the Northerners and the Yankees. Neil Rutt III dominating here tonight at the Southern National Raceway, and right now I've talked to him before the race down in the tech shed that you guys got a chance to see earlier as the caution flag is flown here. Not sure who the caution flag is for. James Fallon, possibly. No, he's not backwards back here. It might be the 13 of Colton Brooks. Could be our victim, or maybe Landon Brindle. He's got some damage now here on the left front of this number 43 machine. We'll back that ass up here on the Woody Scoot Racing channel and take a look and see what the freak just happened up here that might have caused the accident. Oh, we got a back ones one right here. It's Poncho McDowell hitting the number 47 late model. The Rain Man pouring his heart out here at the turns of 3 and 4. I mean, turns 1 and 2. Looks like it may have gotten a little bit of help from the number 39 of Doug Miller III from Easley, South Carolina, for the owner of DM3 Media. Holy shit, Bill Bogdan takes a huge shot to the outside, safe for barrier. We'll back that ass up one more time for the number 39. We'll ride off the front nose of the DM3 late model and see what happens. He just gets into the back of Poncho McDowell was already loose off the corner. Nowhere to go for Doug Miller. Look out the tail end. Phil Bogdan hard to the outside, safe for a barrier. Phil Bogdan is not going to be in the greatest of health after taking that shot. We'll back it up one more time. We'll see what he's seen out the front nose of that number 29 late model as he just had a race car at a sweeping banking corners here to Southern National. Oh, bam! What a shot right there for the number 29. We'll ride out the front nose where I bet it gets even scarier. Things happen so fast, it's like trying to miss Bambi on a dark road on the middle of December, close to Christmas. Ladies and gentlemen, Neil Rutt III's got the race lead, but a huge wreck there off the exit of turn 2. Turn 2 has been the victim here tonight. She is taken victim of about 4 late models now. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We should be getting the one to go racing this time around from Freddie to Flagman, indicating to us that these guys are getting ready to shit and get back around this beautiful racetrack. We're scheduled for 120 laps with 2 in the bank if we need them. We're already past 60 laps complete. That's the halfway point here. The lights are off on top of the pace car. We're getting ready to go back racing here tonight at the Southern National Raceway. Everybody following behind Peter the pace car for Braden Staley and Neil Rutt III to come through turns 3 and 4 and restart the Haunted 120. The Ghosts have won the battle here tonight. Who's going to win the war? Green flags back in the air here for the Haunted 120. Heading through the corners of turns 1 and 2, off the exit of 2, down the back straightaway. My ears are absolutely shredded. Whoever was down there in the garage area stealing those Cadillac converters, fuck you. The 0-1 of Everett Larson slaps the outside wall there with Dakota Pignataro, and Chase Johnson tries a little bit of hole. Greg Warden gives the bumper to the number 40 of Michael Johnson, sips him up the racetrack. Michael Johnson's not going to like that, but the Magic Man will pull a Houdini and a rabbit out of a hat to get the position. Right here, the North Carolina driver, Thomasville, North Carolina, got tons of fans here tonight. As the crowd roars, the Magic Man makes his way up through the field. Lane Woods continues to battle internet connections this year's working and battling the number 54 late model of Cold and Waters. Braden Staley battling door-to-door now with James Fallon. The battle for the second place spot is on, trying to run down the race leader of Neil Rutt III. Neil Rutt III's got about a half second lead, over the number 9 of Braden Staley. But again, Braden Staley really able to roll freely through 3 and 4 and get the time back. It was like Neil Rutt III, his modified skills seem to come a little bit better in hand through turns 1 and 2. As he's able just to drive away from the number 9 machine off the exit of turns 3 and 4. Ladies and gentlemen, diving back down into 3 and 4. The 92 ACR late model is moving and grooving through the field right now, but Colton Waters is trying to get around that machine. John Michael Bryant trying to roll this outside line, get it up and going. Everett Larson can't pick a lane or which way he wants to go, and Chase Johnson will make the line up for him. He'll shove him and give him a little bit of shot to clear the 23 of John Michael Bryant off the exit of 4. John Michael Bryant, though, will pull back door to door with Chase Johnson. These two guys shitting and getting it here at the Southern National Raceway. It's Colton Waters, sails it down the back straightaway, still trying to run down the number 92 of Lane Woods, but every time Lane Woods blinks out, he just has to reset, find another line. Looks like Braden Staley communicating back and forth here through my racing electronics scanner with his father, telling him that the car is starting to build a little bit free here. I'm really able to roll through turns 1 and 2 now, but 3 and 4 are starting to get a little bit snug. Chase Johnson, two-time I-85 Asphalt Series, the late model stock champion, not having the race that he was looking for here tonight. Got turned around in the opening laps of tonight's Haunted 120, so Chase Johnson will get spooked early here tonight in tonight's race, and the number 5 STI Johnson machine's got some work to do when they get back to the garage for the shop later this week, and the caution flag is out. Caution flag is out here. We got a major pile up off the exit of turn 4. We'll back that ass up. You can't run from us. Michael Doyle involved, as well as Michael Johnson. And the 39 of Doug Miller III will back it up for the instant replay here. For the instant replays, Booty Scoot Racing Channel, presented to you by the Home Run Cafe. Make sure you go check them out Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. to get you hooked up with your favorite hot dog, hamburger, or refresher need. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll throw it up to the TV3 cam here. Looks like Michael Johnson, Doug Miller. Or most advocate, Doug Miller gets shipped up the racetrack by Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson already got moved, so he wasn't happy with the way that he was raced. He'll drive the number 39 of Doug Miller straight down on the pit road, and Mike Doyle just becomes an innocent bystander trying to get around the wreck there on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel because Doug Miller throws it in reverse Terry and doesn't see the 00 of Mike Doyle coming around the corner. We're right on board with Mike Doyle. See what he's saying. And just gets tagged. Wow. So, best believe you, America's best sponsor, that is on the 00 of Mike Doyle, will be making a trip on down there to the number 39 of Doug Miller III to give him a free pair of those America's best glasses. Make sure you go check them out. 50% off. Code Mike Doyle. We're back here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Got a couple drivers bringing it down onto pit road to service the damage that these late models have secured. Only 80 laps complete out of the scheduled 120 with 2 laps in the bank for the overtime. These guys will get one chance to re-rack it here if we need it. Neil Rutt III has led over 50-plus laps to this point right now. The real deal. Showing his name and what it's worth. I want to give a huge shout-out to Neil Rutt for the things that he does. And ladies and gentlemen, what a badass paint scheme on that number 66 late model. The eyes glowing out of that skull on the hood of the number 66. James Fountain, though, has probably had one of the faster late models, though, in the field. He is up 6 spots from where he started. He's gotten around the other fastest car of Braden Staley for the second place spot. How long can he hold on to it? Danny Willis has had one hell of a show here tonight, as well as Lane Wood. So these ACR late model racing have some speed in them. Green flags back in the air here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, live here from the Southern National Raceway for the Haunted 120. Braden Staley will pull door to door with James Fountain, trying to get to the race leader of Neil Rutt III. Everett Larson gets shoved up out of the groove there from the number 5 of Chase Johnson and the Boogeyman, and these boys continue to go at it here. Back in here battling for the 7th place spot, live here down the back straightaway for the number 5 of Chase Johnson in the STI Johnson late model, followed by the number 23 of John Michael Bryant. They'll work off the exit of turn 4, down back into turns 1 and 2. Chase Johnson trying to find the answer here tonight. Colton Waters trying to run down the back bumper of the 100 ACR late model of Danny Willis. The number 5 of Chase Johnson, though, starting to trail back down the back bumper of Colton Waters. This battle could get interesting here as everybody sees the lap starting to wind down, the pay window opening. Neil Rutt III trying to be the first one there to cash it all out, take home the victory here tonight. His first late model win on season 3 of being a full-time participant. Neil Rutt III's got a late model win. Battle door to door with Chase Johnson for that win. Looks like the caution flag is flown again. So the classic saying, cautions breed cautions, a unfamiliar sight here tonight. We've seen the yellow flag probably more than we've seen the green flag up to this point. We'll back that ass up here for the instant replay and take a look and see what the absolute hell just happened here in the Haunted 120. So the number 39 of Doug Miller, Deja Vu, he's backwards off the exit of turn 3 and 4. Was it under the help of his own doing, where Landon Brindle maybe have something to do with it as well, as they were both head on until the outside, safe for barrier. One of them goes ass first, and it looks like the number 43 maybe have just tagged and pegged in the number 39 Sony Miller machine. We'll ride out the front bumper of Landon Brindle as he runs down into 3 and 4. Just gives a shot to the right rear quarter panel of the number, bang, hard in the outside, safe for barrier. Is the number 39 of Doug Miller III just stuck down there. He's got to try to get this late model up and going, refired here as the pace car comes around. Looks like Doug Miller III will lose a lap here to the race leader of Neil Rutt III. We'll be back in just a moment as these guys catch Peter the pace car. Huge shot there for 2 of these late models. Back in a moment. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. It's been a long day here tonight at the Southern National Raceway. A LCQ race in the book already for 15 laps was action-packed. Saw 2 caution flags fly in that. We're working the 7th or 8th one here tonight in the main event for the Haunted 120. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to go back to the restart zone here, and that overtime is zooming ever so closely. These guys can't get it together. So if you're new here and never watched one of our I-85 Asphalt Series races, you're kind of curious on how we do things, this is how we run the restart. Neil Rutt III will be the race leader here on the restart with Braden Staley on the outside of him. Neil Rutt III is what they call the control car. So Neil Rutt III, when the pace car pulls off of the racetrack safely, Neil Rutt III can fire at any time for the restart, but it must be Neil Rutt that fires first. However, if they roll too far into the restart zone to where Freddie the flagman has to give out the green flag by hand on his own, it's anybody's ball game on who fires first. So you'll see it right here, a perfect prime example. Neil Rutt III fires before Braden Staley, and Braden Staley's got to get it up and going here. Spin a little bit of rubber, trying to catch him back down. Looks like the caution flag is flown back immediately. Caution flag is flown back here immediately from Michael Johnson and Everett Larson, and they're backwards here, as well as Greg Orton. Not what the Magic Man was looking for here, as he is up and backwards already, man. Just gets jacked up on the restart. Looks like maybe from Colton Brooks. Greg Wharton back here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. We'll back it up. back it up here. We'll throw the instant replay up before I forget and take a better angle here. It looks like TV2 is just not going to cut what I'm looking for. Looking for the number 96 here on the restart to get absolutely jacked up by the number 13 New River Whiskey in Welding late model, and that's exactly what happens. And then Everett Larson becomes an innocent victim, as well as Michael Johnson. A huge shot right there to the number 01. We'll back that ass up one more time here and just ride with with Everett Larson and see what he's seeing out the front end of his Stacking Pennies podcast late model. He was just right hooked in the right rear. On board with the kid, the 14-year-old of Everett Larson. Take a look. Just has to lock it down here. The 14-year-old, don't know what even hits him right there. Just pure speed from the number 40 of Michael Johnson. Several guys involved in the caution flag right there. And we'll work it here for, looks like going to be the ninth time here. The 91 laps are complete. We got less than 30 to go when we return on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Stick around and don't go nowhere. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the Haunted 120. The pace car works his way through the banking of turn 1 and 2. Everybody single file behind him. Everybody else taking the wave around to be appropriately back on the lap that they are supposed to be. The clock is ticking here at the Southern National Raceway. We got 29 laps to go here before we crown our winner here tonight for race number 3. We want to make sure that you're sticking with us all season long here for season 3. Reminding you to head your way on over to the YouTube page where you can find all of the full races posted there. Here is the remaining schedule for the I-85 Asphalt Series late model division. Make sure you check us out 2 weeks from now at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. So we're kicking it around here in the Carolinas. Get some action-packed racing. Neil Rutt's going to be the race leader with Braden Staley on the outside of him. Get ready to take the green flag here again in the Haunted 120. And it looks like Peter the Base Car won't leave the racetrack. I'm going to have to go down there and kick his ass myself, I'll say, making me look bad up here in the booth. Peter just don't give a damn. He is a self-conceited bastard driving that big jacked-up dually truck that he only has a lease on 24-month period, so he doesn't even own it. Putting miles on it here tonight for the caution flags. Neil Rutt the third, going to be your race leader. We'll try it one more time. Peter the Base Car will pull off of the racetrack. His green flag flies again once more in the Haunted 120, heading back down into turn 1. Off the exit of turn 2, it'll be Rutt. Staley, the top 2 driver, with Fountain following right behind him. Down into turns 3 and 4. Who's going to do what, when, where, why? Colton Waters gets tagged and goes around back here. Big shot to the inside wall for Colton Waters. Holy ever-loving shit, the caution flag has ever flown here so fast. It's right there. A huge shot for the number 54 BBS late model of Colton Waters. We'll back it up here. Get your mouth full with a swig for the water boy from Mobile, Alabama. We'll back it up here. Take a look and just see what happened. We seen him go airborne. There it is. Everett Larson involved. Dakota Pignataro, the boogeyman, Chase Johnson. Take a look here and see what happened. Chase Johnson looks like he maybe tried to go 3 wide up the middle right there. It didn't work for him. Looks like Colton Waters maybe gets out of the groove there. Chase Johnson definitely makes contact with Colton and sends him up the racetrack, and holy shit, a huge pile up right there. The number 54, of Colton Waters took one hell of a ride. We'll ride on board with the water boy of Colton Waters as the Alabama driver continues to try to find bad luck here week in and week out on the I-85 Asphalt Series. No wrongdoing of his own. Nowhere he can go on the door side here. He's got company on the inside. That's the 100 machine of Danny Willis. He just gets tagged and bam, airborne here at the Southern National Raceway. You never thought you'd see you a late model up in the air on a short track. There you go. 3 cars involved. The BBS late model's got to do a 3-point turn like he's doing his driver test. Chase Johnson will slick on by, as well as Everett Larson. The 14-year-old is complaining of a headache. That was a huge shot. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go nowhere. Bang! Less than 25 laps remain here in the Haunted 120 late model stock division for the I-85 Asphalt Series. These guys have absolutely put on a show here tonight. Tons of caution flags. You know what goes with purple and orange for Halloween? Yellow, because that's what we've seen a lot of here tonight. Yellow caution flags, yellow race cars, Team Spouting. Braden Staley moving up here throughout the thing. So we'll give you a little quick rundown. Neil Rutt III is currently the race leader, followed by Braden Staley in the second place spot. Lane Woods III will be in the fourth place spot with James Spouting starting on the second row inside of him. Danny Willis will round out the top five with John Michael Bryant, the boogeyman, charging his way up through the field, up 10 spots. Poncho McDowell up 12 spots right now, rounding out the seventh place spot with Michael Johnson shaking and faking his way through the field in the eighth place spot. Dakota Pignataro will scrounge up the ninth place spot here on the restart with Colton Brooks on the outside for the 10th place spot. The Magic Man works his way back around for the 11th place spot with Doug Miller shaking out the back half of the field in the 11th place spot. That'll be the whole field, and how they run down is Mike Doyle and the rest of these boys are currently lapped down, taking the back half of the field. They're up and moving here, getting ready to go back racing in the Haunted 120. Green flag is back in the air. Here's Neil Rutt III. Slaps back down on the gas. We're back racing here in North Carolina. Again, folks, apologize for all the screaming and scraping and yelling out of these X-pipes on these late models. Braden Staley charging for the race lead off the exit of 4. Neil Rutt III's got a battle back here. If he wants to hold on to it, no contact made right there from Neil Rutt. Is the real deal, trying to make a chance, and the caution flag is out. Caution flag is out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Not sure what the hell for, or who, why, when, where, or what has just taken place here. We'll back that ass up here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel and take a look. So there's our victim, Phil Bogdan, in the number 29 machine. Gets turned around on the front stretch here. Maybe just gets a little bit loose. Not sure what the hell happened. Yo, definitely got a little bit of contact there from Colton Waters. And the number 54 will back that ass up. Take a look and see what happened to Phil Bogdan from the instant replay cam that we also have here that we keep forgetting to bring up because we keep having to use it so many times. We'll back it up here and take a look as he was near inches from hitting that inside safer barrier off the exit of turn 4 after getting just clipped by the number 54 and putting it off the exit of 4, but he keeps it off the wall, parks it right into victory lane here on the front stretch at the Southern National Raceway. So Phil Bogdan doing his best Tokyo Drift Paul Walker expression. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go nowhere. Bang, bang. 17 laps to go here tonight in the Southern National Raceway's Haunted 120 for the I-85 Asphalt Series late model stock division. 25 cars, piled out the field here tonight, wanting a chance to lock themselves into the Haunted 120, the Ookie Spooky Bash here for the late model division. 20 cars were started, 12 of them locked themselves in on time. The rest of them found their way to the LCQ race. This is how the qualifying session stood out. Colton Brooks was on the pole. Colton Brooks out of the race right now, I believe. No. Colton Brooks is well still in the race on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. See how things shake out here. And right now, we're getting ready to go back to the green flag. Michael Johnson's got some work to do. He's up 12 spots, and he's currently the hard charger award award driver, as well as Braden Staley. Braden Staley and him both tied for 12 positions so far, made up since the drop of the green flag here tonight. Braden Staley will get a great jump over Neil Rutt III as the heat cycle through the tires continue to work their way out. Lane Woods moves up to the second place spot, and here comes Danny Willis, the number 100, working right behind him. These two ACR Racing late models have some excellent speed inside of them. And these guys have worked their way up through the field. One green one blue one. Really easy to keep track of and how they work things. Same font, same everything. Colton Brooks and the caution flag flies. Caution flag flies as Dakota Pignataro, and it looks like going to be Doug Miller III involved in the accident there. Doug Miller just not having the race that he was looking for tonight. He's driving backwards on the racetrack. We'll back that ass up for the instant replay and take a look at what the hell just happened to the number 39 machine of the DM3 late model. Doug Miller III from Easley, South Carolina, not having the race that he was wanting here tonight. Battling some handling conditions, or really just a tore up race car. Looks, holy shit. Dakota Pignataro rode on the roof of the number 39. This should be a crazy one. So a wild ride right there on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for Doug Miller III, as he has a whole entire race car lifted up onto his hood and carried down the back straightaway. That's the number 99 of Dakota Pignataro, just where it comes clean hard into the outside safer barrier. We'll back that ass up one more time here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll ride around with Dakota Pignataro, the man that got airborne, excuse me. Take a look. Just a vicious ride. Imagine being carried down the back straightaway into turn 3. Holy shit. Part right in front of our camera. We'll back that ass up, as this one's going to fall right into your lap. You'll be able to see everything. We got 2 airborne cars here at the Southern National Raceway. Poncho McDowell giving his best Livy Dunn impression, doing a cartwheel here in a race car. Quite impressive, honestly. The Rain Man turned into the tornado here down the back straightaway. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go nowhere. Bang! Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Danny Willis trying his hardest to get up through the field here in that 4th place spot in this number 100 late model. He's had the fastest lap of the session up to this point, but Braden Staley is moving up to the point. He's got right front fender damage, so I'm not sure what kind of handling conditions this number 9 Staley Motorsport Bully late model can handle. The Bowman Gray veteran is known to shake and rattle a few cages here. He got into the back of Michael Johnson, turned Michael Johnson up the racetrack for the heat race win here tonight to advance through the LCQ qualifier, but he would have been in anyways if he'd have just sat right there in that 2nd place spot. But Rubbins Racing and Braden Staley wanted some TV time here for the sponsor. He had to do what he had to do. Right now he's on the front row with a chance to take the victory here tonight with 9 laps to go. Single digits remain. Lane Woods gets a huge jump on the outside right there, but Braden Staley's able to get it back there. Door bang back into turns 1 and 2. Braden Staley will ship Lane Woods up the racetrack. Neil Rutt the 3rd. Back down the back straightaway on the inside of Danny Willis, and they'll battle back down into turns 3 and 4. The 13 on the outside. Colton Brooks, John Michael Bryan gets loose, goes around down the back straightaway, front straightaway here, and the caution flag flies. Couldn't even get a chance to turn it back green. The caution flag is already back out for the number 23 machine of John Michael Bryant. Just had his cage rattled, looks like, off the turn 4 here. Looks like we got Ghost in turn 2 and Vampires in turns 3 and 4. They'll grab the boogeyman here and try to get him to come out here and join the party. John Michael Bryant, probably the scariest thing out on the racetrack. Dragging and driving down into turns 3 and 4. Just gets absolutely punted from the number 40 of Michael Johnson. Probably will back that ass up here for the instant replay one more time and take a look here and see what happened between him and Michael Johnson. Maybe was there contact made? So, no, a huge net code possibly right there. We'll back it up one more time. See if we can't get a little bit better angle from John Michael Bryant's left rear suspension. This tells us everything we need to know. Oh, definitely no contact made right there. Just there's contact made between him and Greg Wharton, but maybe it looks like a possible net code strike here for the number 23 machine as he was battling door-to-door with Michael Johnson. Didn't see much, if any, contact made right there. We'll throw it up to the blimp cam. Billy, the blimp driver, giving us all kinds of great shots. Yeah, definitely just a net code there. Greg Wharton has nowhere to go. He'll get into the boogeyman there, ship him around. John Michael Bryant, Halloween right around the corner, and the boogeyman strikes here. He'll go around with 5 laps to go. And ladies and gentlemen, this will take us to the overtime here for the Haunted 120. What we wanted to avoid all night, but expeditiously, it's going to be unavoidable. Braden Staley will have the race lead here on the inside. When we return, don't go nowhere. Bang, bang. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the Haunted 120. We are slowly marching in here, heading to overtime to close out tonight's late model race for Season 3. Race number 3 has been one hell of a show here tonight at the Southern National Raceway for the doubleheader for the I-85 Asphalt Series, where the modifieds raced last night and the late models here tonight. 25 cars drummed out through the field. 20 started. 5 cars went home with a crying emoji. We are getting ready to head over to the overtime, and I'm getting ready to explain it all to you so you're not lost when we get ready to take the green flag. Braden Staley's wrestled our race leader, which means the restart is on Braden Staley. Braden Staley must take off once the pace car safely pulls off of the racetrack, and it is on Braden Staley to fire the race car. The guy on the outside, Lane Woods, must wait till Braden Staley fires, and or if they go too far into the restart box ready to flagman, will throw the green flag, and we will be back up and going here. Green flag's back in the air. A huge jump right there for Lane Woods. He'll get around Braden Staley. Green flag back in the air here for the Haunted 120. That is not what Braden Staley wanted to see. Not the greatest restart here. He'll have one more lap to try to get back to the back bumper of Lane Woods. White flag is in the air, presented by AFLglobal.com. And the battle for the race lead is on. Lane Woods trying to hold off Braden Staley one more time into turns 3 and 4. Off the exit of turn 4. Here comes Lane Woods to come across the line to win the race. No, ladies and gentlemen, being told by the admin that the restart is under evaluation. We do not have a winner. Everybody pause and hold your horses. Ladies and gentlemen, Braden Staley wondering what's going on. He feels like he has jumped the start. Lane Woods bringing it around to the front stretch. He'll park it here and wait to see his fate with Braden Staley. The admin has told both of these race car drivers to park it right here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have had a first time something here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. A restart under review for the overtime. Ladies and gentlemen, Braden Staley not counted as the race winner yet, and neither has Lane Woods. We are underneath review. I am being called to the admin booth right now. We'll send it to commercial break here in just a second. We'll try to figure this all out. We'll have it for you when we return. Ladies and gentlemen, not sure who quite is the race winner here so far at the I-85 Asphalt Series. Bang, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Things have absolutely been shooken up here tonight at the Southern National Raceway. Hearing from the admin, we are still evaluating our winner. We have the replay for you folks to see exactly what happened. Don't forget, the I-85 Asphalt rules just stated right before we took the green flag. Braden Staley must fire first when the pace car safely pulls off of the racetrack, not the outside guy. So Braden Staley would be the lead control car here. Let's take a look and see what actually happened here on the restart. The number 92 working on the outside. Braden Staley bringing him through. We're waiting on the pace car to pull left here. Braden Staley holding his line there, waiting to fire off. And you see the number 92 just kind of takes off and launches right there way before Braden Staley even gets the chance. And there's the green flag. That is what is being evaluated right here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the race win. Again, folks, we'll give you one more shot from it at the blimp angle. And we'll see what happens here as the admin still trying to tally over who's going to be the race winner here. Are they not sure if the green flag was out? Who fired first? Definitely looks like Lane Woods. Maybe about to smack the gas a tad earlier than Braden Staley, battling some internet connection issues all race. You see him blinking in and blinking out here. Maybe this had something to do with it. Ladies and gentlemen, for the final time, we'll give you one more look at it. You be the judge of it. Who is the race winner here? Rules are rules. How will the admin force this here with Lane Woods possibly jumping the restart here, costing himself out a win? And he'll blink in and blink out there, so we won't be able to see Lane Woods there after he goes down into turn 1 and 2. That was the restart, ladies and gentlemen. As we back it up, we'll send it to commercial break. You tell us what you think. We'll have your result here. I'm hearing from the admin. They are still looking it over here, trying to figure out what the hell happened. We'll be back in just a moment with the winner of the race. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here from the Southern National Raceway. The drivers are parked here on the front stretch awaiting their fate. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the results here, and by disqualification from the I-85 Asphalt Series rule book, where the leader must fire first, which was Braden Staley. Braden Staley will be awarded tonight's race winner here at the Southern National Raceway. And he looks like he just got the news inside of his headset. He'll go and throw a little Pernat down for the fans. Ladies and gentlemen, see, we got a pit reporter down there with the race leader. If you can hear us, guys, go ahead. We have you on to go.
Victory lane with the number 9 of Braden Staley. Braden, you'll go back-to-back here in the I-85 Asphalt Series late model stock division with your win 2 weeks ago at the Myrtle Beach Speedway and rounding it back out here tonight in North Carolina at the Southern National Motorsports Park. Just kind of walk us through your night here. You suffered a EOL. Well, not an EOL. You'll win the heat race, start 13th, and you have to work your way up through the front of the pack. Just kind of walk us through it.
Yeah, I had horrible start. Won the heat race. Thought I wasn't even going to have a chance to win the race. And then luckily, I got up front, got on the outside of Neil, past Neil. And then that last restart, something wasn't right. But come out on top. I'm happy. Congratulations for finishing second, Neil. I appreciate you for running me clean again, once again. Y'all, thank you. Thank you for the host.
That's the number 9 of Braden Staley. He'll have a scare here and have to wait his fate to see. He's the one that goes to victory lane tonight, and he will be. We'll scoot down here to the second-place runner-up driver, the number 66 late model of Neil Rutt III. Neil, kind of walk us through your night here tonight at the Southern National Raceway, one of your favorite tracks, kind of similar to Wall Stadium back home in New Jersey. Just kind of walk us through what you went through here tonight as you kind of stayed out of the mayhem.
Yeah, I mean, didn't qualify as good as we wanted. Had a pretty good race. I think led the most laps. I'll take that bonus points with a 0x. Congrats to Staley for another win. Had it till the late stages there, and sometimes you just can't get a win. Last restart was a little funny, so I didn't really go because I didn't want to jack up Staley and cause a big wreck. So on to the next one. Boardwick late model was fast again, so we'll hopefully get a late model win soon.
And that's the driver of the number 66 of Neil Rutt III. He will bring home the second-place spot here tonight in his Boardwick late model. We'll scoot down here to the fifth-place finisher, Colton Brooks. Well, he'll be fourth place after the disqualification here. So fourth place for you tonight, Colton Brooks at the Southern National Raceway. Just kind of walk us through what you had go on as you got tossed around like a ping pong several times here tonight, but you were able to recover.
Yeah, caught on the pole here. Had a rocket ship tonight. Just got into some trouble in the race. I didn't mean to wreck the guy earlier. I wish I could have won, but congrats to Braden. Want to thank Auto World Salem, River Welding and Rigging, and Greg Olson.
Colton Brooks throwing it to the hometown back home at the Winston-Salem Bowman Gray Stadium. We'll scoot down here to the fifth-place finisher of James Fountain, driver of the number 24 late model. James, kind of walk us through your night here tonight at Southern National Raceways. You had a fast HendrickCars.com late model.
Yeah, I didn't really unload in practice like we wanted to. Ran pretty decent, but was just top 10, mid-car, and then came and qualified, got 8th, felt pretty good going into the night. Was just trying to ride out and get a top 5, and was really feeling like I was going to get a top 3 there, and so the late race drama happened, a bunch of restarts. I ended up getting shuffled back to 6th, and then that crazy last restart, I ended up taking P5, and I couldn't be happier about it. So I just want to thank everybody for putting this on. I want to thank everybody for coming out, and I'll see you in a couple weeks. Thank you.
That's the driver of the number 24 late model of James Fountain. He'll bring home a P5 here tonight at the Southern National Motorsports Park. We'll go down here to the garage. We found the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard. Nick, not the race that you were looking for here tonight, is you didn't even get a chance to turn a lap. Just kind of walk us through what happened here tonight for you. Yeah, kind of shitty, man. Come down here in the garage and put in all this work all week to fix up this late model, get this nice singular wires paint scheme service on here, and just to get told that we failed a drug test, I really kind of think they're trying to Jeremy Mayfield me. I don't do drugs, but all I do is go fast, and these guys don't want to keep me on the track here tonight. But they want to go to court. We'll battle it out here at I-85. I'm no drug user. I'm just a race car driver, and that's what we'll do. But Jim can't get back out here 2 weeks from now at the North Wilkesboro Speedway and have a blast. That's the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard. He'll bring home the 25th spot here tonight. He doesn't even get to turn a lap.
And ladies and gentlemen, we will throw it to a quick commercial break. We'll be back with your post-race show. Nicholas Maynard battling some court-like legal documents down here with a drug test policy portion. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just a moment. Stick it right here. We'll have your full post-race show and analysis when we return.
I don't have a job to find, and if I were just on my own way, with never looking back to those who lived in fear. There was nothing I could do, there is nothing you said that could make me realize how much lucky I was.
Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel inside of the tech shed here in the Haunted 120 for the late model division here. And they just broke the news to the race winner, quote unquote, Lane Woods, that he was disqualified here tonight for jumping the start. But they also found that he had holes in his tires. So these guys were bleeding holes, trying to let out air pressure all night long. Lane Woods caught blatantly cheating right here in the tech shed here tonight. Even though he was disqualified, they'll kick him out of the racetrack 2 weeks from now. Lane Woods not going to be happy with that one right there, ladies and gentlemen. We're glad you've tuned in here all night with us, especially all week here at the Southern National the Southern National Motorsports Park. We've had our doubleheader here for the I-85 Asphalt Series Whelen Modified Division yesterday. Late Model Stock Division here tonight was one hell of a show. We have to go all the way back to the practice session. We'll run it all the way back, just like a touchdown on a football team. Colton Brooks was the main name here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for Colton Brooks from Moxville, North Carolina. He had probably one of the best late models out there tonight. Tried to drop out of the lead early and fall to the back of the pack, but he had the fastest thing in practice. Then the qualifying session came around, saw Colton Brooks again sit on the pole here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. So Colton Brooks continues to add out fast and fast and fast and fast lap times each and every single week. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody to the bottom 12 on your screen, all the way down to Doug Miller, the third, advanced their way in on the time. They advanced automatically to the 120-lap session that you just watched. Michael Johnson in the number 13 machine was the guys in them that started out the heat race. We'll pull up those results for you here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. That saw Braden Staley, the race winner here tonight after the disqualification from Lane Woods. Braden Staley worked his way up 11 spots throughout the field. He won't earn the hard charger, though, as he falls 2 spots shy from Michael Johnson's 13 spots gained to his 11. But Braden Staley will take home the victory here tonight and win the heat race. Double duty for Braden Staley. And we switch it on down here to the feature, ladies and gentlemen. Saw Lane Woods pick up the win here, but as you just seen in the tech shed when they broke the news to him that he had been found to have his Hoosier tires bleeding air, causing the air pressure to leak and leak and leak and leak over the course of the run. So, ladies and gentlemen, Braden Staley will be the race winner here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, and I don't blame Braden Staley for going down there and protesting that one. Ladies and gentlemen, after that will become now Neil Rutt III as the second place driver, followed by Danny Willis, Colton Brooks, and everybody on down from your screen. Once again, folks, this has been the Booty Scoot Racing channel live here from the Southern National Raceway Motorsports Park at the greatest racetrack for the best show on earth, the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Please, one more time, for the grace of our heart, head on over to the YouTube page located in the top right portion of your screen. It helps us out a ton, shoots us through the algorithm as we've really started to try to kick off these YouTube shorts, try to get them going so you can just look down and deem here. I'm about to go chill with this fine hoe right here. I love me a little thick bitch in a green tank top. So as I get ready to go make my move, catch this flight back to South Carolina, you guys enjoy your week. We'll be back Saturday night in Talladega. Going to Talladega Boulevard. There's going to be titties everywhere. You want to make sure that you're there, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be an absolute show for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series at Talladega Saturday night at 8:45 p.m. Eastern, live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. 2 weeks from now, we head to north of Wilkesboro, and you want to make sure that you're sticking around, and you will be there. 110 laps of the greatest show on earth. We'll see you then.
something that saves me all the time. In my say, yeah, it surfaces when I'm breaking down, like a whisper in my head, coming from out of nowhere, like a whisper in my head, when I got something to share. You think that I'm a freak when I'm talking to myself, but it's like I was too weak to be someone else. You could think that I'm a creep when I'm singing all alone, but it's like I couldn't see straight on my own. Hey, yeah, there's something that saves me.